What's going on, man? How are
Well,
you?
I'm doing well, man. How have you been?
Oh, fantastic. Good to see you. Thanks for, well, not thank you, but hey, if you're watching or listening, thank you. I don't have to thank you, Steven. I feel like you need this as much as I do. But if you're watching or listening, thanks for joining us. Set to destroy. Steven, tell him what this show is. I already forgot.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately, this is the only thing we have going for us right now. This is pandemic comedy. This is what you're getting. We brought the podcast to a virtual world with the help of our producer Colby Cusick. Colby Cusick, give a round of applause for yourself, real quick, for putting this whole thing together. Give me a soundboard.
Me and Steven would be face down in the gutter without him. We'd be crying and
Where
peeing
would we
and
be? Where would
we'd be
we'd just be a
dead.
sad country song without Colby? Yeah, that's what he's exactly what we needed to bring this show
Mm.
back.
That's
If you don't know what
exactly
the show
this
is,
whole year
on
has been like one country song, huh, Steven? COVID took my job, it took my girl, it took my comedy. It didn't take my girl, but maybe it still will. Who knows? It's not done yet. Uh yeah, no good, Steven.
look, since you interrupted the host, do you want to finish out what this podcast is about? Do you remember what this podcast is? Let me turn
Oh,
towards
I'm
you.
sorry. I thought we were both the hosts. Well,
No.
we bring a guest in here. We have our comedian friends. They join us. They bring a set, like a clip of a set that, maybe it's pretty old. Maybe they're bombing, whatever. Sometimes they have stories of hell gigs, weird bombing things, early jokes. It's super fun. Steven, what about this? I was thinking about this the other day because you started however many years ago. Can you remember your very first time on stage? And can you remember a joke you did that you maybe aren't as proud of now, but at the time thought was good?
Uh, oh man. So it's the worst joke I've ever told. I want to use it in a sketch. The first time I was on stage was at Arts Bar. I made a joke about having my car stolen. I had all of my notes stolen. The one joke I remembered from my notes before I got on stage was that I went to a sex shop on Black Friday. Okay, it's the setup.
Mm-hmm.
Sex shop on Black Friday, and there was a black family in there, a black couple, and the man was trying to convince the woman that it was a great idea to be there. She didn't want to be there, and he was like, "But baby, these are really great dildos." And uh, and I look back on it
Dildos.
with yes, yes, this is a joke on ebonics and also sex toys and also not good. But
You don't have to
I
analyze it. You don't have to try to find meaning in it.
think
It's really a
analyze.
statement on. No, it wasn't.
Mhm. Yeah, when you think deeply about it, it's just fucked up. It's not funny, and it.
Yeah, too bad your notes were stolen. I would have loved to see those. It just has the word dildos circled and then things that sound like dildos, like a concept tree, but just from dildos in the middle.
That's my idea map. Oh, I got to
Somewhere, yeah,
brainstorm.
somewhere it says like dildo or no dildo, a game show about dildos, and you're like, that could be
Howie
something.
Mandel.
Howie Van Dildo, yeah, that's not bad.
I remember somebody called me a dildo when I was in like fourth grade, I think. Chase DeGalarmo, who is no longer with us, thank God. He called me a dildo in fourth grade, and I'm gonna get so much hate for that. He
That's such
called me
a
a
funny
dildo.
detail that the kid who called you a dildo is dead now. But I don't know why
Well,
it's funny to me. But it's just.
yeah, I mean it's funny to me too. That's why I said it, but it's not going to be funny to a lot of other people that see this.
Yeah.
But he called me a dildo, and I asked my mom. I woke my mom up from a slumber because she works 7 p to 7 a, and so like I woke her up in the middle of the day. She was trying to sleep, and I was like, "Mom, somebody called me a dildo today. What is a dildo?" And she was like, "It's a suitcase." And so for like honestly like 4 years, like every time I grabbed a suitcase, we got it. This is packed my dildo, got it in.
It's a suitcase.
It was a great. I mean, look out of a.
Steven, I didn't hear a dang thing you just said. What was that?
I think the audio cut out, but I said, for an on the spot, what is a dildo answer? I think that's a pretty solid one. I think suitcases, you're not going to see those a lot in everyday life.
You want to pick
You just
something
gotta,
that's like a kid has nothing to do with too, because like a kid doesn't need a suitcase. So that was really smart. Yeah, a dildo is
you
a
gotta,
type of a suitcase.
you gotta
Yeah.
solve that before you get to the airport, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
But you, any,
gross.
any good? Have you been doing any comedy in Denver? Is it still going on, or is it still shut down?
There's a little bit happening here and there, but I haven't really gotten to do much. I think I might have something. By the time I see you next week, I might have something, but no, nothing really.
Cool. Well, I hope
Not
you bomb
really.
at it. You can tell us about it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No matter what, it'll still be better than you bombing. So that's good. Why
I
are we
feel like
doing
I'm a
this?
better bomb.
You think so? I feel like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the last time I saw you bomb, which obviously was a long time ago, but only because of COVID. Otherwise, it would have
Yeah.
probably been a lot more recently.
If you'd have been at the Bruce show or the DC Young Fly show,
So the last two shows that you've done.
yeah. Well, there's 6 shows and 12 all in total, and I think a good 6 out of 12 were interesting. I remember DC Young Fly at one point. I was surrounded by people, and he just goes, "Man, like, why is he still here?" And I was like, "All right, guys, I've got to go. This has been my time. Had a rough 2 sets. I'm gonna
Oh, you
roll
bombed
out."
in conversation.
Oh no, I bombed the whole time. I was too big of a
Oh yeah.
fan. That was the roughest one. Yeah, that was my Burt Kreischer.
Oof. That's no good. Yeah. I that's tough when you're like standing near people and you want to leave and you're waiting to just like get in there conversation wise to say goodbye to people and it's just not happening. And you're just like, man,
Mhm.
they don't care that I'm here. They're not going to care if I leave. They don't even want
They
me
would
here.
they wouldn't notice at all.
Mm. That's how I feel
Well,
about any show where like stand up just happens and like it's not like people aren't ready for it.
in
It's
a
just
coffee
like,
shop,
man,
and they're like, "Here's your we're gonna be doing a comedy show after this." It's like,
hmm
"No, no, no. You don't have to do this."
you don't have to. Yeah, it's like you're pointing a gun at somebody and they're just like, you don't have to do this. And you're like, I do.
That should be the
Why did
motto
they
of
all?
every open mic in 2020. The motto should be like, "We don't have to do this. We don't need to
Mhm.
be doing this." I know it's indoors. I know that it's like 500 square feet in a tiny bar. We don't need to be doing this, but we will because comedians are cockroaches and we don't care. We won't die. Uh,
Comedians are
well,
cockroaches. We got to be very careful and safe these days. I know I appreciate that about you. You've been very outspoken about COVID precautions and comedians being safe these days. And also, I'd like to thank our guests real fast for joining us on this Saturday. We couldn't do it tomorrow because Stephen is traveling for the holidays. Anyways, Stephen, would you like to intro our guest?
yeah, as
So full of shit.
yeah, I would. Damn it! I was gonna
Go
so
off on
glaze.
your mom.
I was
Fucking
gonna
dick.
glaze past that we were doing this on a Saturday. Look, I have a wife, and I subscribe to her orders. There's a hierarchy in this relationship.
You don't get to blame her.
I
It's not
absolutely
her
do.
fault.
I paid a
Uh,
lot of money to be able to blame her. I paid a lot of money. Look, Ryan, I'm very excited about this because our guest today, I met this dude when we were working the improv with Mark Normand, and he was like really just like kind of blown away. I've worked with a lot of people up there, and some of the features are kind of hit and miss, but this dude was just absolutely hilarious. We hung out the whole weekend. It was a ton of fun. I think you got to come out there. I don't remember what happened, but I've just been excited to do this for a little bit. He's got album coming out on Stand Up Records on January 8th. He's been on Comedy Central, Sirius, Laughs on Fox, a bunch of other shit that nobody festival, slow comedy festival. Just Really, really cool stuff. Really funny dude. Ryan, would you help me welcome Colby? Would you put your hands together, your virtual hands together, and bring in all the way from North Carolina and Denver in a van? Bring in Cliff Cash. Cliff Cash, everybody. It's Cliff Cash. It's Cliff Cash.
Just look at him.
Look at him.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Great to be here.
Cliff, we're happy to have you. You sound and look a little weird. It's like you're in a van or something.
I am absolutely in a van. And I'm disappointed too. I apologize. That feeling of disappointment that you feel is what my parents feel all the time.
It's an awfully nice van, though. Can you give us the old? Can we get a look at it a little?
It's pretty solid as far as vans go. This is my surfboard. I'm about to go to Mexico and surf. This is just like photographs that I've taken over the years. This is my bed.
Look at
Let's
that.
see. Let me get out of the way. I don't know. I'm dyslexic. This is very hard. You can kind of see that's my bed. This is like my my heater. And
oh yeah, that seems safe.
Yeah, no, it's safe for indoor use. This is my sink. It's glass. Yeah,
nice.
I like that the water source is right next to the heater. That's good.
That's smart.
Yeah, dude. Keeps it from freezing.
Here's one tip. What I like to do is I get cold sometimes, so I'll get a blanket and throw it over the heater so it warms up the blanket, and then I can wrap that around me.
Perfect. That's good thinking. I also get cold sometimes.
You got to keep it right above the fuel tank. That's the key, is to keep it above the fuel tank. The gasoline being near it lets it accelerate.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Hey, don't worry about me, guys.
How are you making it through the pandemic? You made it. You're out in North Carolina. How long have you been in Denver? Are you just like traveling through? Like, what's going on? The last we checked, you were back in North Carolina.
So when COVID hit, I was in the middle of a tour. So I had to cancel like 11 cities. So I lost a bunch of money. And then I lost, stand-up comedy is theoretically is my only income. I had just gotten to the point in the last few years where I could do it full time. So I lost, from the middle of March, really for the rest of the year, I lost the whole year's income. So in March, when all that happened, a friend of mine from college, I used to flip houses. I used to renovate and flip houses, and I had some rental properties and stuff. And one of my best friends from college came to a show in Asheville, North Carolina, and him and his wife, I went and visited the kids and hung out with the family. And they were like, "What are you doing in, like in March and April?" And I had actually kind of set that aside to build out this Sprinter van that I bought, this van that I'm in. And I was like, I'm actually pretty free. What's going on? And they said, we have this like little rental house. We've had it rented, but we want to sell it, but we would like to renovate it first so we can sell it for as much as possible. Would you want to renovate it? And I had just recently met a girl that I thought maybe was promising. It ended up not being at all. But so I was like, yeah, I'll stay in Asheville for a couple months. So I ended up being there like March, April, May, June, and I just ended up renovating the whole house, kitchen, bathroom, painted the whole thing, the exterior, the yard, and they sold it. But then a buddy of mine, I met this dude in Nicaragua. I was surfing last winter. I lived in Nicaragua, and I met this dude there, and we became friends. So he messages me on Instagram, and he's like, "Hey man, I saw that house you just renovated. It looked really good. You want to come renovate my house in Denver?" And I was like, I don't have shit else to do. It's a global pandemic. So, yeah. So I'm on the third bathroom right now. I'm like in the middle of renovating the master bathroom, and I'm hoping to make some money from this. And then I'm hoping to use the money to finish the van all the way. And then I'm going to go drive the van around Mexico for like a month.
Great.
Dude,
That was a long answer.
No, that was perfect, man. I can't believe. Wait, so you lived in Nicaragua last year?
Last winter, just for like February and March.
Okay,
Just for
so
the
you just
cold
like
weather.
take off for comedy a little bit, and just like that's kind of wild. Are they no comedy for February, March, just living in Nicaragua, surfing?
At the time, it was the longest I had ever gone without doing stand up since I started until
Wow.
now. Obviously.
That's a pretty
I was
cool.
with a girl. I was with a
Sorry,
girl
go
at the
ahead.
time, different girl. I was with a girl that I loved very much and still do. She's still a dear friend, great person. And she and I had traveled together a lot. And she was just like, we've never been together in the same place for even for like a month. The whole time we'd known each other. I was like, that's a pretty valid point. And she was like, I really need that. I need to see how that feels. And like, I want to do that with you. And I was like, well, if I'm going to sit still for a whole month, which I haven't done in probably 5 years at the time, I was like, if I'm going to sit still, it ended up being more than a month, but I was like, if I'm going to do that, I want to do it somewhere like spectacular, like Central America, like somewhere beautiful and cheap. So we found this cabana that faced the ocean, and we stayed in this cabana for $700 a month, oceanfront. And she surfed as well. So we just like surfed every day, and we just ate dollar tacos, and like you get a pineapple for like $1 and a mango is like a quarter. And yeah, we just kicked it and made a bunch of fruit smoothies and drank rum and surfed and did a little banging. It was great.
Oceanside banging.
I, I ate 9 hits of
Mangoes
acid
by the dollar.
a day while I was down there. I took some LSD with me because I had decided that I wanted to have like a spiritual experience while I was there. They call it a heroic dose or a God dose. And so I was going to take 5. I thought that would do it. So I took 5 and I didn't quite do it. So I was like, give me 2 more. So she gave me 2 more.
I feel like
Cass, get your life together.
Oh, shit.
bring in the party, baby.
We just watched Cliff get mugged
Podcast,
live.
Hello.
Podcast.
This is my
Just a
crew.
Welcome to the
carjacking.
podcast, everybody. Yes.
Let's see. What are y'all
This is the
doing?
pod-
We're gonna go to the bar and have some
Sake
sake
bombs.
bombs.
Okay, I'll meet you there.
Cool.
Sorry, guys.
Give me all
Sorry
your
about
money.
we just watched Cliff get murdered.
Yeah.
So basically, long story short, I met that dude just there. I met him in Nicaragua, and we became really good friends, and just like instantly hit it off. And so he's the one whose house I'm renovating right now.
Tight, man.
And we
Wow.
were just at a
Cool.
comedy show. I wasn't performing. I just went with them to watch. And Christy Buccelli was on there, and Anthony Crawford, and I didn't know the other people, but it was good. It was nice to just watch some comedy. So I haven't
Dude,
really
Anthony
done that yet.
Crawford he's so good too. He the first open mic I ever did in Denver, when I was like maybe a year in, and I just went out to Denver for some job thing, and I went to his open mic, and that dude was so hospitable and like didn't need to pay me any mind, but was like, yo, this was what I thought was funny. This is what I like, was really, really kind and really nice. And so he's been back to Kansas City a few times, and we've hooked him up. But that dude's
Nice.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy, man. He's from North Carolina. We're from the same state, same place.
That's right. Yeah. And now y'all are both in Denver.
Yeah, I don't know him super well, but I've kind of known him like peripherally the whole time I've been doing comedy. So we've kind of been more or less just like Facebook friends. But he's super funny. Like I definitely enjoy watching him perform.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Well,
I'm just grabbing a beer.
yeah, please take some sake bombs. Go get sake bombs and then come back and bring the just get
We'll
torn up.
watch your clip without you, and then you can come back and tell what we thought of it.
So, Cliff, when did you
I
start
have this-
doing comedy?
I have this crippling fear of rejection that I would rather you watch the clip without me.
It's a little uncomfortable. I was wondering where the hat was.
Yeah, man. I
It's a
went on a
great,
date
damn
last
good
night.
hat.
Let me preface. I've already had COVID, despite being very careful and taking it seriously. I got it while helping David Rodriguez in Fort Collins renovate his comedy club. I went up and donated my time because I love the guy. Went and helped him for a day. Ended up being 2 days. And while I was helping him, one of the other craftsmen in the building evidently had COVID and didn't know it. I don't think he ever had symptoms. And he gave it to me and David. And
Are you telling me that driving around the country in a van doing manual labor might expose you to COVID? Sounds like a country song. Well, I was helping my friend Rodriguez renovate his club down in New Mexico, and one thing led to another. I had a mad coughing fit.
If the Fort Collins Public Health Department is listening to this, we want you to know that it's a different David Rodriguez, and that this is not this is a nightclub. It's a discotheque.
That's right. Discoteca.
So you wore the
Cliff,
hat on the date?
Yeah.
No, so I had a date last night, and I get there, and she's very, very nice girl. We had a good time and everything, but I don't know what it was. Maybe she's just like this all the time, but somehow this hat came out, and she's like wearing it, and I was like, let me try it, and I put it on, and she's like, it looks really good on you. I want you to have it. And she was like, it doesn't fit me anyway. I'll get a smaller one, and you can have that one. And I was like, well, let me Venmo you for the one that you're going to buy. So I'll buy you the one you're going to get, and then I'll have this one. She's like, no, it's a gift. It's a Christmas gift. I want you to have it. And it's like, it's like an $80 hat or something. And I was like,
wow, I would not have guessed that.
Well, it's this basic.
you
can just tell me to go fuck myself. That's fine too.
No, I'll go fuck myself. But it's this very white, like it's this very trendy Southwest. I'm gonna wear this with a Mexican blanket over my shoulders, like petting a horse in an Instagram photo. It's a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like cool hats. I like to get drunk with a cool hat on. I don't know. I'm not really trying to buy into a trend necessarily, but anyway, it's like a well-made thing or whatever. So then as the night goes on, she's like, you want this blanket? And she pulls out this like really cool, like authentic Mexican blanket, like made in Mexico. Bust that out. I was like, yeah, I want that. She was like, that would go really cool in your van. I was like, yeah. So she gave me this blanket. Then she gave me her ex-fiance's mountain bike. And then she gave me like a box of those Hot Hands hand warmers. So I've been using those all day.
She's just trying to get rid of her ex's stuff. This hat,
I think so.
And this blanket have been laying around. She's like, here, take this.
These boxer shorts are really big in the dick area, but they're nice. They're like new.
Yeah. Hey, you seem nice, and I know this is our first date.
So that's the story.
That's and so now you have a beautiful hat. You look like if Captain Jack Sparrow retired and became a real estate agent. You look great. It's a wonderful look for you. I think it's solid. And what I love is the confidence you have. I love the confidence it breeds. You got your dimples out. You're smiling ear to ear. I think this is a great sake bomb hat.
It kind of looks like a witness protection hat. Like if you were trying to not be noticed, like I'm going to mix it up with the hat.
It's great for breaking through surveillance cameras. You just got to tilt it down.
You look like the American guy that got arrested in Mexico for doing some bullshit. And then the U.S. government has to be like, I mean, we'll try to get him back, but maybe he should just get the lashings.
Dude, look at that.
Earlier today, I was walking into Lowe's, and I was like, I look like Invisible Man from the movie. Like, if my skin would disappear, it'd be perfect.
If I were a cop, I would arrest you if you looked like that.
Somebody should absolutely arrest me. They've tried, and it's always a minor offense. They're like, you're not allowed to camp here. I was like, well, hey, nobody's illegal on stolen land, brother. Have a good day.
Just drinking in the middle of a Home Depot.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
trying to-
Just sleeping in my car in the French Quarter, just high as shit, riding my bike around, drinking whiskey out of the bottle. I'm a bandit. Remember how Willie and Waylon and Johnny, they were all traveling around the country just doing drugs and getting drunk and stealing shit and getting in trouble. I'm the poor Willie Nelson of stand-up comedy.
You're Johnny
taking
on the
Exxon
spaceship.
mountain bikes and boxer shorts and hats, stealing from extras. Beautiful. You're the best outlaw
Free mountain
comedian.
bike. Things are going great. I'm really peaking. I feel like I'm peaking.
I think it is.
Well-
How long has it been? How long have you been doing comedy?
Almost 9 years.
Damn, nice. And you started in North Carolina?
Yeah. Wilmington, North Carolina, Dead Crow Comedy Room, Cape Fear Comedy Festival.
Yep.
It's a good
Asheville.
little scene. Yeah, Asheville, laugh your Asheville off. I've actually never gotten into the Asheville Comedy Festival, but last time I went to Asheville and produced my own show, I had 160 people out on a Tuesday, but I can't get accepted into the festival to perform for free for 10 minutes. So next year, if they don't let me in, I'm going to do my own show, and it's going to be called Laugh Your Cashville Off, and it's just going to be my own show festival.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
the way to do it.
Kiss
they
my
see that.
Asheville.
Yeah, they'll definitely see it. I'll send it. This will be our submission video for the festival. When they're like, hey, do you want to bring your podcast on? I'll be like, yeah, here's an episode with Click Cash. I heard you love him. I heard you're big fans.
We know that guy.
Let's get this dang clip going.
Yeah, let's get the clip going. So what the clip you sent us, brave title, by the way. I gotta say, when I saw the title, I was like, all right, we'll see where this goes.
I haven't seen the title.
Will you set up the clip for us? Just tell us like where it was, when it was, what it's about, how you feel about it.
So yeah, I think the genesis of this was like having a conversation with my partner at the time about gender and about gender roles, about the things that men and women experience differently, and how we could empathize and relate to each other better if we could sort of, just sort of understand the nuance of those things a little better. And so I don't really remember how I wrote the bit originally, but the premise is if men really are often dismissive of a woman's menstrual cycle and what she goes through hormonally, mentally, emotionally, physically, the pain, the discomfort, the inconvenience, and just the hormonal stuff and how that like affects you emotionally. And so the premise is, if a guy was going through that same thing and describing it to his buddy would be like having a meltdown, like all concerned, like, dude, what, you're bleeding from your dick? When did this start? And so that's the idea of it. And at this point, I was still very much in the process of dialing it in. It was a pretty new premise, and so I was really trying to like find the meat and cut out the bullshit, and I was not there yet. So it's just a lot of like me.
So it's a lot of bullshit. We're about to hear a lot of bullshit, is what you're saying.
And the crowd is probably just like,
we got it.
Okay, is there a
We
joke?
need a-
Yeah.
You could have saved a lot of time by just going up there and been like, you think that if dudes had periods, it would be like different?
Right.
And people would be like, yeah, probably.
But I was trying to make it relevant, tying it into the Me Too movement and Louis C.K. masturbating in front of people. I always have to have a segue. I feel like I'm walking a tightrope without a safety net if there's no segue. Like, you'll never catch me being like, anyway, enough about farts. Do you guys play golf? Like, I'll never do that kind of like abrupt transition. Like, it makes me so anxious. So everything has to flow, and so I have to like tie it together somehow. And that was my failed attempt at doing that.
Yeah, I like the idea of trying to take it from a complex topic like menstruation and then tying it into like something that's a little more digestible, like Louis C.K. or the Me Too movement, and how we could
For sure,
segue.
I also
Toby, do you
want
have
to
any
talk about
audience?
starvation in Yemen.
How do you guys feel
The
about
audience
drones?
would literally rather have you jerk off in front of them than you keep talking.
Speaking of people not using their turn signals, do you know how many people are starving to death in Yemen?
When was this clip? How many years ago? Is this 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9?
Not that long, maybe 2-ish. It was in
Okay.
this little coffee shop show in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Is a really cool. The guy does a great. His name's Fasil Malik. He does a really good job producing it. He packs it out. The audience are all like diehard comedy fans. It pays okay, and he'll get you like a couple shows, a couple nights in a row. And Fort Lauderdale is an awesome town. And so I ended up doing it a couple times a year for the last few years. And this was actually a good show. I mean, this bit wasn't that strong, but the rest of the show was pretty good. It gets good at the end, but then that first part is like, okay, dude.
I bet it's pretty good. Let's check it out.
Let's check it out. Let's get into it.
Man, this shit is depressing. I zoned out like after the election. I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna not watch TV, not get online. I just started trying to like make a positive difference physically in person, doing things like that, you know. Cause like nobody who's like an awful racist piece of shit has ever like changed their mind because you won a Facebook argument. You know what I mean?
You hear that, Steven? Can you shut up now?
Oh, don't
Stop getting
drag
Facebook arguments with racists now.
Cliff Cash might be the biggest hypocrite right here that we've had on the show, because I don't know anybody that goes harder on motherfuckers on Facebook than Cliff fucking Cash. That dude makes me look like the most peaceful, docile liberal in the planet. He posts like just dunks. You just like to dunk on your friends, and I love it.
Yeah, people be like, "You're a liberal snowflake." I'm like, well, I just serviced my transmission this morning. I built a deck yesterday, and I'm 1,000% confident I could beat the shit out of you. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about me being more informed about politics, and your candidate is a fucking.
That would be the best heckle interaction ever if Cliff was on stage and somebody like, "You fucking liberal snowflake," and just like, "Listen, I built some furniture the other day and I could kick you in the ass. But anyways, Yemen, people are starving. Listen."
My toxic masculinity is triggered by dumb rednecks.
Oh,
You're like, "You liberal snowflake?" I'm like, really, dude? You can't even paint. You can't even do body work, bitch.
You can't even paint.
I shouldn't have said the B word. I want to clarify. I would never use the B word recklessly. I only use that when referring to male Trump supporters.
are you talking about body?
Bitch.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about
paint. I painted the backdrop to the stage I'm on right now. See that happy little tree? You still want to fuck with me?
No, I do not. Because you have theater kid rage. That's a whole different kind of anger.
Yeah, that's right.
I've painted it. Let me hear this.
No dude who thinks he's better because of his pigment has ever been like, you know what, I was in the Klan and then I was arguing with some progressive people on Facebook and they suggested some books I should read. And I read like 12 or 15 books and it really turned me around. I've been doing a lot of volunteer work and
Steven, does it hurt to hear him doing an impression of you, by the way?
physically do something good. That's the way that we beat this thing. But sexual harassment thing really bothered me a lot too. You know, I try. I'm sure I'm a shithead on a regular basis, but like I try to be a decent guy. You know, I try to have empathy. I feel like the trick to the whole thing is empathy. Whether it's a racial thing or a gender thing or a sexual preference thing, if you could just go, you know what? I'm a white guy. What would it be like to be a black woman? Like what she might feel differently about this thing or this topic or this flag or this whatever, you know? What does that feel like? What is that person's experience? And like, you can't jump into that person's body and be them, but you can try to imagine what they feel like and what they go through. And if we could do that, we could really start to bridge the gap and bring people closer.
I love how you
Jesus.
I love
Did all the black women at that coffee shop show really appreciate that?
Yeah, I actually had a menage a cinco after that. That was cool.
menage. Oh my god! Just a bunch of the most diverse menage a cinco in the history of menage a cincos, which is that
Yeah.
only menage a cinco.
They were like,
I
"What do you
know-
think about the divine feminine?" And I was like, "I'm fucking so into it, so into
Have
it."
you seen the movie 13, honey?
I don't think you even deserved a menage a uno after that one.
No, I
Was this
did not.
special produced by
Huh?
was this special produced by Ava DuVernay?
This is my iPhone. Look at the. So this is a coffee shop. If you could pan to the left, there's like two like maybe 45-year-old black dudes sitting on like a leather couch on the stage, and there's a lamp, and in the back corner of the room there's another lamp, and so every time I play this room, I go on stage and I just go, "Whose apartment is this? This is nice. Whose place is this? Where's the furniture? You guys moved out all the furniture for the show?"
Is it the
And
same
I'll just
two
rev
black
up.
dudes on the
I don't do a show unless there's two lamps and a leather couch on the stage. I just won't even do it.
A couch
Is it the
with
same
just
thing?
two dudes chilling on it.
Yeah, just like the Muppets.
I can
It's
see why
fun
you
room,
guys
though.
are friends because you both have to spend like 3 minutes telling the audience you're not racist before you get into any jokes.
It's part of being a white Southern male. It's like, I just want to let you know I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, please accept me before you reject me. I know how you want to feel, and I just need you to not feel that way immediately. Yeah, when Cliff and I, for me to host and then Cliff to go up after me was always like, these guys are going to get a dose of something.
Oh, but it was such a good rip though, because you would go up and talk shit about the South, and then I would come on stage and be like, I just want to say I don't appreciate Steven talking bad stuff about the South. I found that real offensive, and then I would go into my bullshit. You know, it was good chemistry.
That was
a fun weekend.
Yeah, dude, really fun week. I want to get back into your not fun week. I want to. You're back to your TED talk.
Together, you know? And I was just thinking
That's a
about
good
that
way
for
to
men and
describe
women,
it.
watching all this sexual harassment stuff. Like, even the best men don't have enough empathy for women and what women go through and how their lives are a lot more difficult than men's in a lot of ways, you know? And for me, as a stand-up comedian, the biggest one was Louis C.K. I don't know if you guys all know about Louis C.K. He's a prolific stand-up comedian. He's kind of a living legend in the comedy industry, and it deeply hurt me to see somebody like that, you know, to know that this guy had been such a dirtbag, because he seems like he wouldn't be, you know what I mean? And a lot of male comics were like defending the guy. They were like, well, he didn't rape anybody. He didn't like physically assault anybody. I'm like, yeah, but do you know what he did? Does everybody know what he did? He would get butt naked and make people watch him masturbate. And like, you know, as far as trauma goes, I don't know how you rate it and number it, but like watching an unattractive 50-year-old ginger who's pale, pasty white and balding and out of shape, who probably has red pubes, masturbate naked, that's fucking traumatic, okay? Like, I don't know how it compares with actual sexual assault, but it's pretty bad, you know?
But it's pretty bad, you know? Anyways, empathy, everybody.
How does Fort Lauderdale feel about this?
Look, I don't know about what Louis did and how it compares to being literally raped, but I bet it was pretty bad. Anyways, guys, don't forget to tip your servers. I'll be selling shirts after the show. Just Louis C.K.'s picture on them.
Don't forget to tip your servers. Get up for the military.
Yeah, keep it going for our troops.
My girlfriend, when I first start doing this bit, I have a thing where I'm like, you know, a lot of people are defending him, saying, well, he didn't actually sexually assault anyone, like by definition or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, watching an overweight 50-year-old, pasty white, pale, ginger, balding with red pubes, masturbating naked, like, you know, that's up there. Like, I don't know how it quantifies with actual sexual assault. But if you asked me personally, like, do you want to be sexual assaulted or do you want to watch Louis C.K. masturbate? I would be like, can I see the person that's going to sexually assault me? Like, I need more variables before I make this decision. And she was like, yeah, you can't say that. And I was like, okay, well, I just won't then.
Yeah, we'll take the foot off the gas a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah.
We're still going to run into the wall, but just not as hard.
I feel like I need to be enrolled in college classes to even tackle this subject.
You stopped just short of, if they're attractive, it's not sexual assault. Yeah, thank God you had somebody right-minded to fucking be like, hey, honey, I say this because I love you. Don't do this.
I love comedians all need partners to bounce ideas off of, just to be like, no, I'm not going to be attached to that.
Oh, my God. Hey, guys, isn't Louis C.K. ugly? Wouldn't you be bummed to see him naked? And people are like, yeah, I guess.
Oh my God. I hope you pull out your dick to save this.
What?
I hope you pull out your dick to save this.
Oh my God.
Trying to get him back on your side.
I think it's going pretty well at this point.
I will say that one laugh you got was pretty good.
Yeah, that was more or less a standing ovation.
Yeah.
I think it was a
standing.
I think it was
that before you got into the bit, you had to like give Louis credentials. Like, you guys know Louis C.K., right? You know what he did, and prolific comedian, genius, living legend, hero. Anyway,
borderline rapist.
You've seen This Next Rapist on HBO, Comedy Central. FX.
You know your last comic from saying the N-word on a special. You know him from comedy. So he wrote for Conan. He also showed his dick to about 3 women that are here tonight. Please.
Did you guys hear about? Did you hear about the situation where Sarah Silverman came out and said, "Yeah, Louis did this to me," and I was just like, "Yeah, dude, whatever. Go ahead and jerk off. I didn't care. It was fine." Like, she just like went along with it and was like, "I don't care. He's my buddy. He needed to jerk off. It's like his thing. I let him do it." Like, it was so bizarre. Like, this whole other like, man, nobody saw that angle coming.
It's a weird way to defend him. It's a weird angle to take.
Yeah, it was so fucking weird, man.
It's like, not only is it okay, but he did it to me, and we've never been closer.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes
me came to my mom's for Christmas that year. My mom watched him jerk off. We unwrapped presents. Mm-hmm. I got a Slinky.
It makes me wonder if me and Ryan are really friends. Like, I feel like, if I jerked off in front of Ryan, he'd be like, dude, I got to tell somebody about that. He'd be such a snitch about it. But like, Sarah's like, yeah, no, it's great, man. I think I need better friends.
Snitches get stitches.
Or jerked off in front of.
I'm just trying to think of what I would do if Steven was jerking off in front of me one day. I don't know.
You would be like, wait a minute. Is your dick out?
Hey, Steven, I'm going to need you to lift before you stroke, okay?
Right. Is there a pistachio in your hand?
You're just looking at me, jerking off, just being like, I am from Louisiana. It's like, Steven, I know.
Is that a popcorn shrimp with tartar sauce on it?
Where did you get a damp Vienna sauce?
Yeah. Is there more to the clip, or are we?
Oh no, there's a punchline.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Guys, as a general rule, as a rule of thumb, here's a rule we can all live by. You know who wants to watch a man masturbate? Literally nobody alive. No one alive. Nobody wants to see an attractive man masturbate, much less an overweight 50-year-old balding ginger, okay? just as I accidentally caught a reflection of myself masturbating the other day. I called the police. I was like, you guys got to get a car down here right now. He's got to stop.
Everybody except Sarah Silverman.
Right. She's super into it.
She's into it. That's her thing.
Yeah. Who knows?
I think this could all be solved with empathy, you know? And even the best guys, even the best of us, like, we don't have enough empathy for women. Let me give you this as an example. Imagine
That was
the
all.
level of empathy that would be felt and shared and experienced between two men if a man were to describe to another man the symptoms of menstruation. It'd be next level empathy that no woman in here has ever gotten from a man. You know, it'd be like this. Hey, Steven, you coming out poker night or what, man? Oh, you still feeling bad? Damn, same week as last month, huh? I'm sorry, brother. No, I know, man. You're my boy. You're like family. Just hurts me to see you hurting.
I like that you hold a
Have you
phone
been to the doctor?
Announcer. That wasn't worth it. Get back to the clip.
Sure.
What do you mean twice a year? How long's this shit been going on, Steven? Since you were 13? You're 39 years old, dude! I'm gonna call an ambulance or something! You want me to start you like a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or something? Is there anything they can do? Well, you just gonna have to keep dealing with it until your late 40s or early 50s. Jesus Christ, dude! Are you having any other symptoms? You're bleeding. From where? From near your pee hole. Are you kidding me?
I love the idea of a punchline being, "Pay hole, are you kidding me?"
Dude, I love that it only took you like 5 minutes to like really put it all together. I think that was definitely like the journey that it took was definitely worth.
I don't think you did. I don't think you did a good enough job setting this up. Like, what are you talking about? Like empathy. What is that? How is there a way that you can bring a random black woman into this? Can you qualify what Louis C.K. did on the road to this, just to put it into context? I just don't know what empathy means. Can you spend 2 to 3 minutes talking about it?
Did Cliff get muted?
I feel like if I had another 15 minutes to kind of set up the bit, it would have been stronger.
If people would have like
it would be my
read
closer that I start on like 2/3 of the way into the hour.
I love the idea that this is how you open the set. This is like your opener. They're like, and now Cliff Cash, and you're like, I've got some thoughts.
And then I have a cancer joke in the middle, and then I close with an AIDS joke. It's a strong hour. It's a pretty strong hour.
It's called the
All right, Cliff, are you guys ready to have fun tonight? Woo! Yeah, guys. I think the biggest problem with America is we don't care about each other.
Give it up for the troops.
The other day, I was imagining being a black woman, and it was a long day.
Oh shit! Is there more? Is there any more?
Listen, you shouldn't be having to worry about going out to eat or cooking nothing when you're feeling this bad. Look here, I'm gonna get my old lady to whoop you up a casserole and bring it over there. Hopefully she won't drag her feet about it. She's all bitchy because she's on her period.
That was good.
God, that was a laugh of pure. They were so happy that you got somewhere with that. Oh, that's like being on a white water raft, and it's dead the whole time, and then you hit a stage 4 right at the end, and you're like, well, that was fun. We did
It's
something.
being in your friend's. It's being in your friend's car for 5 long minutes while he's like, "Come on, baby, you can do it." And then finally, just hearing it turn over.
Everybody in the car, woo!
Finally. Oh,
That's
man.
fun.
It was actually a fun show. That was obviously the low point of the show.
I love that that's the part
Empathy's
you put on
always the low
YouTube.
point.
I finished them off with some farts and dicks, and they loved it. I had a
Big fart.
whole closer that I called Dick Fart, and it just crushed.
Dick fart.
It's about a dick farting, and it just crushed it completely.
Bleeding out your
Dick
pee
fart.
hole, farting out your pee hole. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Cliff Cash. Take care of each other. Be kind. Biden 2020.
Pre-order my album on iTunes.
It's called Dick Blood.
Y'all ever experienced urethra farts?
Natalia likes dick fart.
Dick
Yes.
Dick fart. Dick fart's a good thing to call somebody. You fucking dick fart.
Oh, that's a
My
great
next
heckler
album
company.
is actually called Dixie Dick Fart, and we're pretty excited about it.
You're the opposite.
It's a lot of
I
social,
hope this-
a lot of social activism.
I hope
a
in the
lot of
next 20
gender
years you have, to
equality
pull,
focus.
you have to pull a Dixie Chicks and just change the name to Dick Fart. It's just gonna be
What? It's a really unusual hour because I actually hire some scientists to induce a menstrual cycle in my body, and it's a documentary about that, and then a comedy special at the end is kind of how it comes together. It's a series. It's a longer series. It's 11 episodes. It's Netflix, so
Gonna get
each
picked
series
up
is
by,
4
I heard
hours.
Showtime is producing.
Yeah, altogether it's
Lifetime.
44 hours footage, and it could be
Yeah.
like 30 minutes, but I figured 44 hours is a good round number, so we're
Well,
kind of stretching it out.
You need those 43 hours for setup, obviously. You need to
Yeah,
set the stage.
43 hours to explain what empathy is.
Directed by Bo Burnham. It's just going to be.
My name is
piece.
Cliff Cash. Welcome to episode 8. This is my friend. Now you'll notice that she's a black woman. Earlier, I asked her what her life is like.
Every
I don't know how I'm going to
Every
cast that.
every episode features another member of Destiny's Child or TLC.
Mhm.
These are the only black women I know.
I too don't want no scrub. We have a lot in common. And if we focus on them similarities,
Oh,
I met
God.
her when I was hanging out the passenger side of my best friend's ride.
I was trying to holler at her. I was trying. If we as
She
a
was like,
nation,
"Do you live in a van?"
if we as a nation stop chasing waterfalls, then I believe
We need empathy for the river.
I was hanging out
rivers
the passenger side of my best friend's ride, and she was like, "Do you live in that van?" And I was like, "Well, live in is a strong phrase."
temporarily
that she gave you a
stay
Apple
in.
bike.
Temporarily stay in consistently is a better way to phrase it.
Right. I always tell people I don't live with my mom. I visit her a lot for long-ish periods of time.
When she needs
And
her
all my
house
stuff is-
remodeled.
I started visiting her when I was 25, and I'm still visiting her now that I'm 35.
I just don't want her to die.
I'm
You know,
40.
I just want to be here
Yeah.
for her.
Mm-hmm.
She's got
That
a
was
golf
fun,
cart.
and that did end on a good moment. We don't have any more clips or anything, right? We just got the one from you.
We do have another thing.
We do have
Oh.
another thing. We have one other thing. Cliff, you got time for one other thing? Or you got to go take
Yeah.
Another
All
5,
right, let's
10
hit one
minutes.
other thing. Colby did some digging.
It better be bad. Oh my God! What? How do you remember this?
Hey guys, I'm at the Bernie rally. We're live. They're making me take my stuff out of my pockets. I don't know what's going on. I'm about to interview some people. I got my America hat on. I'm promoting our show, Morgantown, 123 Pleasant Street, Sick and Stupid Comedy Tour. We're at the Bernie Sanders rally. I'm going to interview this young lady. Tell us your name.
Madison.
Madison, let me ask you something. I know you like Bernie. He seems like a pretty nice fella.
Absolutely.
And I know that people are real attracted to his lifelong commitment to truth, integrity, character, fighting for equality. And I mean, that's fine and everything. But do you realize that Duck Dynasty does not support Bernie Sanders?
I was not aware of what they do and don't support. I try to not follow them too often.
You don't follow Duck Dynasty?
No.
Can you tell me why? That sounds crazy to me.
I mean, I don't appreciate prejudiceness or bigotry.
Prejudiceness.
Prejudiceness.
That's awesome.
Well,
Prejudice.
I really don't like, dude. You were making fun of that mixed person. That's prejudice-ish. That's kind of
Right.
like
Prejudice-ish. Yeah.
prejudice-ish.
Prejudiceness.
Prejudiceness. Oh, man, I'm knocking the
Do you
door.
know Madison, or is this some poor woman?
No, I didn't know her. I just showed up at a Bernie rally with like an American flag bandana around my head, and I started interviewing people like, I know you like him because he's got a lifelong record of like character and integrity, but what about bald eagles and hot dogs? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, he hates baseball. And they're like, what?
Yeah, sure.
I was just like fucking with people the whole time. I forgot that was even on the internet, but you know.
I like
It's the
that
nature of
Ryan
things.
thought that if he just took his headphones off, that we couldn't hear him.
I have
Did you just take a poop?
Oh fuck that!
Hey, wait. You were
I don't know
just
how to
on
make it
stage.
to where you can hear him too.
I don't want to hear it.
Wait, what is his
Oh,
name?
As
His
Brandon
name's
Patrick.
Brandon
used to be-
Patrick.
God,
That's
wow. Don't let him hijack
Dude,
this.
listen
dude.
to
I
me.
wonder if I can make it to where.
I'm at the
See,
show
without the
that
headphones,
he was
I
just
can't hear
on.
anything.
No, you're all good.
But I wonder if
I love that ankle material.
microphone. Yeah.
You love that ankle material?
You
Don't
only
tell
just-
him you love any
you
of
only
his
just
material.
send
He
it.
doesn't need to hear this.
It's just.
Oh my God!
Put
what
Brandon
a piece of
on.
shit.
Play some Xbox. I have Skyrim. That's it.
Why does he not have his mask on? Y'all are inside. That dude definitely has COVID.
I'm gonna sit over here and watch.
We okay.
Cliff was just at his show.
Brandon. Brandon.
Cliff, I don't know how to
Brandon!
whatever you want to say to him because I
I
don't
want
know
to
how
know
to
that I
make
relate
sound
to your
come out.
Brandon!
experiences.
Cliff Cash says hi.
What a good guy. You tell him I said hey.
Brandon doesn't remember you.
No, I didn't.
No. Listen, I just watched him 20 minutes ago.
Are you watching the show on your phone?
Jesus Christ, come on.
What a nightmare. All right.
Listen,
You got to.
you guys don't understand.
Nick,
This is
turn it up.
so macro. Or whatever.
I've taken 8 hits of LSD. I'm on a God level.
Listen, I'm in my van outside of the show that Brandon just did a set on. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
How did he do? How did he do?
Oh.
Honestly, how did he do?
So Ryan and Brandon are like 100 feet away from me probably right now. Where are you?
Do you want to come over? We're about to get high and watch the Purple Rain movie.
Yeah. Are there girls?
No.
No. The answer to your
Look at
question.
him.
I'll
You
still
heard
come.
Brandon's material. There's no women.
Dude, is Cliff coming over?
I don't think so. There's no girls here.
Well, there could be.
Make Brandon wear headphones. Jesus.
Are there any black women?
Brandon, that's seriously fucking up the sound. You got to stop doing that.
I just-
Go sit in the bathroom if you're going to listen
Where's
to
the
it.
bathroom?
It's right behind
I've
you.
never been here before.
Sorry,
I
guys.
hate
Sorry
Do you
to
guys
ruin
know,
it.
y'all think it's crazy?
Close the door.
Does nobody else think it's crazy that Brandon just came onto the podcast and I'm in a van on the street and I just watched Brandon perform?
You mentioned you were in Denver at the beginning of this, and I thought about being like, "Oh, I'm also in Denver," but I was like, "Ah."
Brandon, I know
place for this shit.
I know
Are you
it's
at the
fascinating.
sushi alleyway?
Brandon Patrick is like a reverse Jesus Christ. He like does like the weirdest miracles. Like they're not good, but they're just interesting and strange. I don't know how else to describe it. Like he can't walk on water, but he can fuck your wife, and you're like, neither of us deserve this.
Yeah. But is his dad the boss?
He definitely has the kind of attitude that his dad's the boss. He's kind of like Jesus,
Right.
except even if you don't believe in him, he still kind of shows up and affects your life.
Amber, we love you too. Let's get back to your Bernie man.
Well, those guys are really smart. They played football.
Well, I'm aware they played football, but they also play society.
Have you seen them shoot animals?
Yeah. Society, man. Hell yeah.
in your head, man.
That's awesome.
Oh God, they play society like a yo-yo.
She said
They're
she didn't
just
know anything
walking-
about Duck Dynasty, and then you said they play football. So like, yeah, we know they play football.
She's like trying to go along with it, but like doing an awful job. She's like going along with it in the worst way possible. And she's just a stranger, and I didn't prep her enough. You know what I mean? She's just like, I'm just gonna say stuff, and I'm like, whatever. We're free. I'm high. We're freestyling. Let's do it. It just didn't go well, but
I'm on 5 trips
we'll
of
see.
acid.
I don't remember. I barely
shoot a lot of ducks, and it's pretty good. Got whistles.
Yeah, I don't.
The show's amazing.
I don't really like hunting either.
Bernie-
I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, I don't like
No
hunting.
meat. Are you kidding me? Have you ever had the spicy chicken nuggets at Wendy's?
I have not.
They're buffalo nuggets. I call them buff nugs. They're amazing. I got some today, and they didn't give me ranch, and I was pissed.
Oh man, that sucks.
You kind of look like a
Gotta have
buff
ranch.
mug in this
The
video.
American.
You've lost some weight.
Buff
I think Nicaragua
nugs.
was good for you.
Yeah. This is rock bottom. This is when I was married, and I hated my life so much because my wife was so mean.
See, in this, you look like you were like, yeah, took a few months off, remodeled a house outside the country, tax reasons. Let me ask you this.
Right.
You were watching Duck Dynasty.
That was the only channel they had in Nicaragua was A&E. They had
You
Duck
look
Dynasty
like
and they had Billy the Exterminator.
You look like you live
Have
out
you-
of a van then.
Have you ever had an orgasm from a duck whistle at the same time?
yeah.
No? Okay. I want to check that.
Yeah, I make a duck call when I come. Don't you hate it when you're jerking off and then a bunch of ducks show up looking for a party? You got to drive your van away.
That's how it sounds
You,
with my
then you
dick.
got to convince all these ducks that you're just trying to hang out as friends. You're blowing in that duck whistle, making them think you want a 69 and everything, and turns out you just want to kill them and eat them like regular.
The ducks
this
are
is
looking
the
at you like, is that a loaf of bread in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Quack, quack.
My favorite thing about the Duck Dynasty grandpa is like his number one objection to gay marriage is if you let men marry men, then people are going to want to be doing dirty stuff with animals. And I'm like, hey, bro, I hate to interrupt you, but you invented a whistle that makes ducks think you want to fuck. So seems a little hypocritical. Right? Like who's gonna have sex with an animal? My gay friend Chad with the $100 haircut who smells like cologne all the time, or the
Yeah, you built
grandpappy
your
with the
empire
fake
off of
beard?
catfishing ducks.
Right?
You fucking hypocrite.
Who's gonna fuck an animal? My gay friend with the loafers on, or this fucking redneck with a beard down to his dick hole, smelling like deer urine, blowing into a whistle specifically created to convince a duck that you want to fuck it.
The specifically created is an important detail too. It's not like they were trying to make a whistle that like cured cancer or something like, and they just stuck.
Right.
This happens to also excite ducks. Like
Dude.
they were like, let's make a duck fuck whistle, And they did.
Right.
And then
People
they
have
had
cancer.
the
Hey,
Ducks keep flying. Ducks keep
How
flying
weird
into
would it
you.
have been if it was on accident, though? If they were like, "Hey, y'all, you know this rollerblading whistle? Turns out it makes duck pussies get wet." You know, like that would be so bizarre.
That sounds like a Southern colloquialism that like Steven used when he was in high school. It's like, I'm wetter than a duck pussy.
Oh, it's raining like a duck.
Duck.
You know what those Duck Dynasty people
All right,
had
play it.
plenty of?
I gotta go to the
Empathy.
sake bar. Let's.
Sake bar, baby. Let's skip through, finish. Let's get this dude drunk.
I mean, do you like he's talking about like making billionaires pay more taxes? Like, don't you think that if people with a ton of money, don't you think they should get more money? Like, that seems like a good economic plan.
I disagree. I think that you should, if you make more, you should have to pay more.
But what about don't you think it would help the economy if we like took money from like middle and lower class people and gave it to rich people? It seems like that'd be a really good model.
I doubt that, because if they don't have any money to begin with, you're taking what's not there to give it to people that already have it. Why would you do that?
But also, like, Bernie's like kind of like for peace and stuff, and like if we're having peace, then how are we gonna like kill a bunch of innocent people for profit and like achieve absolutely nothing and cause chaos?
We don't even need to do all that, because we can stop
It's America.
being like asshole America and start just chilling out and minding our business and loving everybody.
But what?
This is exactly why Bernie lost.
It's just not funny enough.
Couldn't we have just taken like a little bit of corporate money? Like instead of this fraud, it's fucking $7 of prejudice.
You know what I'm tired of is y'all just like doing the right thing and trying to like care about human beings and stuff. It's bullshit.
I love that you're taking out all of your frustration with your ex-wife onto this poor girl, Madison.
Madison.
Oh man, is there?
Of course,
is there,
her middle name is Zoe.
The wife or the
Madison Zoe.
Madison
She has a
Zoe.
sister.
That sounds like a Nickelodeon character.
She has a sister named Riley Chloe. Probably. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm making shit up.
I'm probably gonna get in trouble for filming it. He's like, I'm gonna bring my back helmet in case shit gets real. In case there's some Trump supporters in here, they try and beat me up. Have you guys seen anybody like get assaulted here?
No, not so far.
No, nobody's been fighting.
No, not so far.
Do you realize that Bernie Sanders has never even had a reality television show?
That's amazing.
How you gonna be president without a reality television show?
I thought it was mandatory.
And Hillary, only
wrong
reality
party.
television show she had is House of Cards.
I think that you single-handedly ruined Bernie's campaign. I think that you, and stop me if I'm stretching here, I think you ruined our democracy with this video.
Yeah. I think I've ruined everything I've ever touched. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love this. Cliff, I know you got to get going. I think we just wanted to pop through this. Colby, thank you for finding this video. Cliff, you have an album coming out January 8th through Stand Up Records. Do you want to tell the people about it? Give you a chance. Let the people, tell everybody what's up.
So the album is called Halfway There. And I called it that because I recorded this hour about halfway into my stand-up comedy career. So I've been in it about 9 years, and I recorded it about halfway to that point. It's a really solid hour. I'm really pleased with the material. The recording's awesome. And this label, Stand Up Records, they've done albums for people like David Cross, Patton Oswalt, Mark Maron, Maria Bamford, Doug Stanhope, Hannibal Buress. So I'm really honored to be on the label. And the album's coming out January 8th. You can pre-order it anywhere that you can consume comedy, iTunes. You can pre-order it on iTunes. It's called Cliff Cash, Halfway There. And I hope that people will check it out and enjoy it. And I always try to tell people that, like, if you're following along with what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do, then you're not like a fan, you're my friend. If someone that really believes in what I'm saying and like my hustle, then you're I don't appreciate that sound effect, but I could use some more friends, is what I'm saying. Because my life's pretty sad. But this is a real long monologue. Is this Saturday
What
night?
are you talking about? You're about to do sake bombs in a van.
It's
You're gonna
Saturday
get sad.
night!
Oh, God. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for taking
Thank you,
time.
Cliff.
Go enjoy your Rocky Bombs. Guys, follow Cliff on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow Set to Destroy and me and Ryan, whoever. I don't know how to point. I don't know what we're doing here. Ryan, I love you. Do you have anything else to say to people?
I sure don't. Thanks, Steven. Thanks, Cliff. Thank you, Colby. Thank you, Colby. Colby's great.
Thank you,
Colby's
Colby.
great.
Thank you, Colby.
All
We
right.
love you, Colby.
You're welcome.
Mwah. Everybody together. Mwah.
Mwah.
Good night, everybody.
Mwah.
Hey, guys.